Hey guys, Mrs. Traver here. We're going to finish up 1-2 notes. This is our last bit on those. It's converting from other forms to standard form. So we'll go from intercept form to standard form, and we'll go from vertex form to standard form. And both of these will end up having to multiply binomials. So let's first review that. Multiplying binomials. So binomials are those with two terms. So we're going to have two binomials. So we'll have two things that both have two terms that we multiply. So let's review that. This is, we usually hear it all called FOIL. So if you are foiling, that's what you've heard of. So let's do a quick example of that. If I had, let's do the basic example first. If I had A plus B times the quantity C plus D, we would multiply these by each of the other terms in the other parentheses or the other group. So I'd want to multiply A times the C, the A times the D, the B times the C, and the B times the D. So the way that FOIL helps us is it's an acronym that means first, outside, inside, and last. So first is the AD. First is the AC, how about? First is the A and the C, they're both in the first spot. O is the outsides, so the A and the D. I is the insides, the B and the C. And L is the last ones, the B and the D. So if I was going to multiply these, I'd have AC plus AD plus BC plus BD. So that's kind of, that's how it'll work for everything. Let's do it with some numbers as another example. So if I had some numbers, A plus 5 and A minus 2. Drawing the arrows is helpful. So your first times your first is A times A, or A squared. Your O is outside, so that's A times negative 2 is negative 2A. Your inside is 5 times A, so 5A. And your last is 5 times negative 2, so negative 10. When you have the same variable, you're able to do some simplifying with these middle terms. It works out nicely. So those ones will get simplified. This one I'd have A squared plus 3A minus 10. So how this is going to help us with converting is I want you to notice that when we FOIL, we end up being in standard form, coming from a format that was factored. So if I threw a y equals at the front and it changes x's, it would look a lot like my intercept form changed into standard. So let's let that be our first one. Let's go from intercept form into standard form. Let's let that be our first one. Let me get us an example. All right, so here's the example I have. Let's go ahead and we're going to basically multiply out everything. So let's first multiply out these two binomials. So we'll do our FOIL first, and we'll kind of let our two hang out with us for the time being. So we're going to do first, outside, inside, last, and then we'll drop our two down with us. So I'm going to make sure I don't lose my two by going like this from the start, and then dropping everything into the parentheses. So I've got x times x is x squared. Outside is negative x. Inside is positive 3x. And last is minus 3. From here, there's some combining I can do. So I've got 2 times the quantity x squared plus 2x minus 3. And lastly, we'll distribute the 2 into everything. So 2x squared plus 4x minus 12. So we started in intercept form, and now we are in standard form. So basically we're just multiplying out anything that can happen. The other one that we did is vertex. All right, so this one, let's see, we've got, we're going from vertex to standard form. The thing that's different about this one is it shows a quantity squared. But if we remember that squared just means you're multiplying by itself, then we can write this out expanded, x plus 6, x plus 6. And then we can FOIL it just like we normally would. So we've got first times the first is x squared, outside 6x, inside is also 6x. And then last gives us a 36, and then don't forget to drop down your -4. I oftentimes see students forget to drop down that -4 or whatever that value is. The k value, I should say. From here, we can do some combining here and here. So let's do that. We'll have y equals x squared plus 12x plus 32. So again, we went from vertex form to standard form. So on both of these, you're able to quickly switch to standard form, and if you just to multiply out any of the terms you have. So that is the end of our section 1-2 notes. We were able to do it in 3 different videos. The first one was looking at graphing from vertex form, the next one graphing from intercept form, and now this one is converting with both of those forms. I hope these videos helped. I will see you next time.